I have a question. As we are now moving into the fourth density, what does that hold for us? What changes will there be? It's called the Age of Understanding, so explain what this all means. I am Hatonn. We are aware of your question, but it is somewhat complex. Not because you mean it to be, but because the information comes from several different levels. This planet, in this density, is moving into a more pleasant aspect of this density. There will be, on this density of this planet, another cycle of life of third density, following the conclusion of that which even now is occurring, having to do with the end of the master cycle, namely the weather changes, the natural changes in geography, and the possible armed disputes and economic disasters that will be part of this change. Some of the people now dwelling upon your planet at this time will repeat that great cycle, which, depending upon the various gravitational changes and electromagnetic variations, lasts somewhat between 75 and 76,000 years. Such a cycle you have already gone through, and the harvest is at hand. You are being harvested as you leave the physical plane. Those of you who love yourself more than your neighbors will go through this particular classroom again, learning how to love. That is not called the Golden Age. That is called repeating the grade, or that is what this particular channel would call it. However, there will be a harvest, and this harvest of people in a body finer, or shall we say, more dense, a spiritual body, a body which we could almost call the angelic body, but we will simply call it the spiritual body, for that is the name you know. In this new body, those who graduate, those who love others more than themselves, will enter the Golden Age and will become a part of the inner plane system of this planetary sphere, or will have the opportunity to go on to do work in other spheres, depending upon their vibration. For the most part, those of the Golden Age will remain upon the inner spheres of the planet Earth, for in the vibration of those who are sensitive to the higher love and light vibration, there dwells a calling to service, a great desire to help those who have gone before, and in the realization that a fourth density personality does not yet have the ability to project through thought, in time, through the dimensions. Such entities will choose to be of service in their own backyard, shall we say. In the Golden Age, love will be seen. It will be a highly creative and a highly satisfying change, for when thoughts are visible, then no deception is possible, and thus, if love does not abide, it can be approached through communication and understanding. For those who have not graduated will begin where they left off, on another planet. Those who have graduated will be given such a glimpse of truth and love that there will be a great explosion of love in your inner spheres, and thus the vibration of the planet as a whole will be greatly enhanced as more and more of your peoples join those who dwell in love and light. Thus, we must answer you yes, it will be a time of greater love. However, you will always find there are those who, of their own free will, choose to take a long, sad, and lonely path through darkness. And this you and we must allow them to do until, of their own free will, they turn to the sunlight and seek love. You ask of the future. The probabilities. At the beginning of the next cycle, there will be a breakdown of your government as you know it in the third density, and a type of dark ages, shall we say, as it may well be called in the future, will descend upon your peoples due to the fact that you have built a very fragile society in your, shall we say, civilized culture. Things will become more simple, and it is only a matter of conjecture as to what the free choice of those entities at the time will choose. However, in the fourth density, there is no need for government as you know it, for the rule is freedom in love, which means that no one obstructs the freedom of another, nor would wish to harm another. And since that which is needed can be created by thought, there is no need for the labor on a cooperative basis of your society. However, in order for you to help, your work will be of a collective nature, melding and becoming one with each other so that you may, as a group consciousness, work for the good of the planet which nurtured you and which you now wish to nurture. Therefore, although you will not have government, you will be working as a unit in attempting to grow ever closer together. As we are talking about two different dimensions, you can see that each density will have its own culture and society. We are aware of your question, my sister. The goal of spiritual evolution is the transformation of consciousness. The Creator has given a proper shape and configuration to each level of consciousness, so that each transformation is accompanied by a transformation of the vehicle, so that the consciousness may be housed in the most appropriate vehicle for further learning and growth. To attempt to grow spiritually in order to become a ball of light would be like attempting to, shall we say, become a flower or a cloud. The form of consciousness is not within the power or provenance of an evolving entity. It is not anything for that entity to be concerned with. The only concern of the seeker is that he or she seek. To be a seeker is the basic drive of the nature of all mankind. The basic question of your life is, what do you seek? When you understand what your most basic desire is, the priorities of your existence arrange themselves accordingly, and you set about your path, seeking as you go, using each minute as a vehicle for learning about that which you seek. Thus, instead of nullifying desire in removing oneself from acts of will and desire and longing, we ask that you become intimately familiar and totally honest with all of your desires, on whatever level they may be, denying none of them, understanding them, and appreciating that the Creator has made you with these desires. The question is in how you order them and how you moderate them according to your most basic desire. In this way, you begin and continue on the road of spiritual transformation. You are attempting a mutilation of the mind and spirit. You can do this only by opening yourself to that which is true. If you call it good, if you call it God, if you call it love, if you call it Buddha, if you call it Jesus, we do not object. You may call it the unnameable. Whatever it is, we ask you to seek it and to know yourself as a seeker. The prize goes not to any form or design, but to the man with the greatest heart and the greatest will to know. We are not speaking of true believers who attempt to win the world to their ways. We are speaking instead of people who realize, finally, that their greatest single endeavor in life is to be themselves. This we offer you from what knowledge we have. Seek not any form. Seek not to become a ball of light. Seek to be yourself. Seek to know yourself. Seek to share yourself, for it is you yourself who contain the essence of all that there is. It is written, as above, so below. And we say to you, each cell of your body knows the body. If you take a cell from your arm, will it produce an arm? No. We say to you it will produce a body. If you take a cell from your leg, will it produce a leg? No, my friends, it will produce a body. Thus know yourself in all of your parts. Know all of your thoughts. Those which are basic, those which have to do with existence, with security, with power, with things with which you may not approve. Know all the good things. Know all the things that you have forgotten about yourself that are quite lovely. And to know, most of all, your inner true and perfect self. That self that changes only very slowly and through many life experiences, growing ever closer to the Creator. Sparkled by the Creator and returning to the Creator. Ah, sister, we hear your question, and we are aware of your confusion. My sister, we ask only that you relax. For the truth is so simple that it is almost always missed. We give you a very simple truth, and it is so simple that the intellect rejects it. But we tell you all that we know of the truth. And that is that you are a being created in love, that you walk in love, and that you may at any time choose to act with love, thus maximizing the effects of learning in this dense and sometimes difficult life, as you call it, that is so brutal. It is very common and everyday affair for those who seek to slip by habit into old patterns of thought which are negative. This is understood and should not be a source for self-blame or any sort of guilt upon the part of the seeker. You are simply adding 2 plus 2 and receiving the answer of 5. There is no guilt. There is a simple error involved. The illusion is very strong among the peoples, and in order for you to be able to control your reactions to those things about you which cause you to initiate patterns of behavior that are negative, we can only suggest that you meditate daily and seek to ground yourself in what we may call a tabernacle of yourself and the Creator, a holy place within your own breasts, in which the Creator may dwell, as in a tent or in an oasis, so that you too may repair to your own heart and to the Creator. And from that gentle and well-watered garden, thereby remember not to react to circumstances which cause the negative feelings of which you are speaking. It is nothing more than a habit of mind, and when recognized as such by the use of daily meditation, and by the constant reminder of the Creator within, can be slowly eliminated so that eventually, in one area of your life and then in another, 2 plus 2 will begin to equal 4. When you are dealing with habits of very long standing, the error is sometimes very difficult to catch before it has begun. Thus, above all, do not blame yourself, or feel less than confident, or less than spiritual, because you have made an error. Simply begin again. For in the Creator all things are new, and at any moment you may begin anew, and each time that you find yourself in negativity, simply begin anew. And that is the beginning of a new life. For the Creator is such that once 2 plus 2 is 4, He does not remember the error, and nor should you.